Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm pleased to bring you a review of the 2012 S.A Prum Graacher Himmelreich Spatlese. It is a German Riesling, and I had this wine with my subscriber during the Vancouver International Wine Festival. We did a kind of themed night US wines with some subscribers and friends. Everyone brought a bottle. And then after the dinner, we decided we were still kind of feeling good. We had some dessert, so we said, why don't we end with some Rieslings? And my subscriber has a little bit more knowledge of Riesling, German Rieslings than I did. So I picked a bottle from O2 that I thought was, good, that was inexpensive. And he also picked this bottle, which is a great producer. So I don't purport to know very much about German wines, quite frankly. But, I'm always interested in drinking things. And again, that's the growth experience. So you're not going to get a lot of knowledge from me on this video, but you're going to see my viewpoint. But let's talk about the producer. Producer is S.A Prum, which is one of the best producers of German Riesling out there. The other one that's notable in my mind is Egon Müller. S.A Prum is a German wine growing family. It's been in the industry in Mosel for several hundred years. And the estate was founded by Johann Josef Prüm in 1911. And that was when there was another, I guess must be his father's estate, S.A Prum. The winery was split up. So the winery actually consists of about 14 hectares of holding. They only grow Riesling, and they have some of the best sites. The most important sites is Wehlener Sonnenuhr, which is probably one of the top sites, and then right next to it is this site, Graacher Himmelreich. And this is really good quality, or one of the top, I guess, vineyard sites in the Mosel. 70% of their vines are engrafted. And so Graacher Himmelreich, which is the region here, is to the south of Wehlener Sonnenuhr. Generally, the wines that come from Graacher are going to have good acidity, they're going to have some minerality, and they're going to be known for very floral and full flavors. And so it was really neat to kind of drink this. We had it at the River Rock restaurant. They actually have this on their wine list for very affordable fees. So I think it was about $160. And that's something that we have with German Riesling, very underappreciated. For a producer like this, which is a top shelf producer, you're only paying, under $200. And in most other regions, for the top shelf stuff, you pay much more. So it's actually quite a deal. German Rieslings are off-dry. People find them sweet, but they have so much versatility. They can pair a lot with appetizers, with fish, and in this occasion, we paired it with dessert. And in fact, many sweet wines, if you go back maybe to the 1600s, 1700s, were used as dinner wines also. So it's just a common trend that people use, that you have to have red wine with meat and white wine with. There's nothing that says that you can't have a Riesling with your food. And in fact, it does really go very well with especially like Asian cuisine, like Chinese food. Actually, Riesling goes very well. The acidity works well with those type of flavors. It doesn't overpower them. It might not be the greatest with steak, but if you have a steak with no sauce, I don't think it's that bad either. It adds some sweetness to the taste, and really probably will do a very good job of cleaning out your taste buds. So don't get into this effect that, because it's sweet, it's not serious. No, they're serious wines. And likewise, there's nothing that says that you can't have this with most things that you have for dinner. That means fish, that means any type of seafood, chicken, pork. I don't think it'd be a stretch to say that you have Riesling with it. And in fact, Riesling has got that great acidity, and in some cases, great body too, which is nice to pair with food. So we had this wine last night. This has been done overnight. And again, we had it with another Spatlese from a not as well producer. It was a 2002 vintage, and surprised that this one came out a little bit even stronger in terms of intensity and the body. So if you look at the color, it's still quite youthful. It doesn't really look like it's really that old. And that's the thing with, at least with J.J. Prüm wines, they're very, very ageable, even their cabinets. And, you know, these can go a long time. And again, the acidity in the Rieslings really allow them to develop a long time in tertiary type flavors and aromas. So let's take a smell and taste of this wine. So on the smell, it's actually quite young. It's still really, to me, hasn't developed a lot of the secondary and tertiary flavors. There's still a lot of fruit on this wine. So from the smell, you do get some petrol in this, like a gasoline smell that is kind of characteristic of older aged Riesling. You get some white flowers, like lilies, and then you get still some good acidity from some peaches and some apricots on there. So, but you're getting less and less acidity and less fruit flavors, almost like tropical flavors now, and more like beeswax and things like that you're getting on this. But and vanilla, actually I get vanilla on this too. So let's have a taste. So first thing that you really feel on this is the weight of this wine. It's really got good weight. It's not a light wine. Second thing you notice is that it's got a very long aftertaste. So as I'm talking right now, the aftertaste is still in my mouth. Great acidity on this wine. That's why it pairs so well with food. It's still got the honey notes, apricots, pears, starting to develop some other secondary and tertiary flavors. You get a little bit of a burnt like creme caramel on the back end of this, and a little bit of like almost like waxiness to it. So I see that. And then a little bit now, this is almost 30 seconds in, a little bit of minerality at the end of this. So really got a lot of intensity, and I think it's actually gonna still needs probably another 10 years before it really hits its peak. Now I'm tasting still something different, almost a flintiness, like almost like slate on the end of this right now. It's coming in. Yeah, now it's almost, I would say 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or a minute into the taste. It's still there on my mouth, and very refreshing. The other great thing about Rieslings for some people, is that the alcohol content is lower. It's 9%, so it's actually very drinkable, very sippable. And I love the intensity of flavor on this. It's got that sweetness up front, but as you get through the aftertaste, you get that minerality, the flintiness in the wine, and almost like a flint, or slate. You get that kind of that steeliness at the end of this taste. So that's kind of very neat for me. You don't get that a lot, and I'm still getting it. It's kind of like almost I would say it's steel, or almost like an irony, like a very metallic type taste to it, which is in a good way in the aftertaste. My rating of this wine is 93 points, and I was so glad to drink it with a subscriber that actually is a real big Riesling fan, and it's really kind of caught my attention. It's like, maybe I should drink more Riesling here. And again, I'm like most consumer drinkers. Unfortunately, Riesling, particularly in Germany, is hard to pronounce and hard to remember. But it just takes a little effort, and once you get past that, you really get into some really magnificent wines for the price. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.